Clubhouse chatter continues. Once again, here's Norm and Tony.
That's right. We are back. And so
in effect,
this is the 100th episode of Clubhouse Chatter. So Brian and I, like I said, we've been grinding at this for a couple of years, and we definitely love doing what we do. And our next guest is somebody new to the show, and Jim Campanis Jr. says to say hello, by the way. And so he was the one that kind of led me to you, and I have with me Chef Ben Ford. Ben, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Glad that Jimmy laid the pumpkin seeds down for me. He was a great guy to play with. I missed him a bunch. We had a bunch of fun back in college.
He said that you were one hell of a hitter before your knee injury.
Yeah, that knee injury. It's kind of funny how that happened. I think it was a high throw at first base by Jim Campanis over at third base. What do you know? So maybe there's some guilt that's coming involved there. But that was a fun team to play on for sure.
So the number one question I have for you is, what was it like growing up as Harrison Ford's son? So your dad is one of the most iconic actors of our time. We're talking Han Solo. We're talking Indiana Jones,
The Fugitive,
and The Fugitive, many more. What was it like growing up?
Well, I'm the oldest son, so
okay.
I definitely got to see the transitions. He wasn't a successful actor until I was already 12 or 13 years old. So, I got to see the humble beginnings and the what it took as far as the fortitude in order to stick with it till he could do what he did. But it was he spent 13, 14 years of working as a carpenter and as an actor while he was trying to build his career. And so, I got to see great examples of all that.
Wow. And so you grew up playing baseball, and you ended up, did you end up at USC on a scholarship, or did you walk on?
Well, I walked on. There was money afforded to me. There was, at some point, there's a sort of a gray area there as far as between scholarships and funding that you can get from the school. But no, I wasn't on a full scholarship. But it was basically because I was already in a great position financially, as far as my father was already trying to do good work, and I wasn't really looking for that situation. I was looking for a team that I wanted to play with, that I thought I could gel with, that understood the type of game that I had. And I was sort of a gap hitting first baseman. I hit 833 as a junior in high school, and then 760 as a junior. That same summer, hitting against guys like we had in my Legion All-Star team. We had Kevin Pierce, Scott Radinsky, McDowell, Beck, Sanchez. You go on and on and on. Fernandez. All these guys were in our league. I hit 620 in that league.
Wow.
And kind of started to make a name for myself. The guy that I beat out for the hitting title in that league was Don Buford Jr., whose dad was the coach over at USC at the time, and caught his notice. And next thing you know, I had Trojan uniform on.
And so what?
But I was definitely I was suited more to Dato's game than I was to Gillespie's game, which became a problem down the road.
And so did you get to play any summer league ball anywhere? Did you get to go to the Cape Cod League or anything like that?
I played some summer league type stuff. I played a little bit up in Utica one summer, and played some more sort of local ball. We had the Pasadena Redbirds and the Valley Dodgers and some other local teams that I played with. But for one reason or another, I always enjoyed the game, but I always knew that there also was going to be I always had a healthy understanding that there was going to be an end to it. I didn't have that. I didn't have a great glove and didn't have the arm, basically, and didn't have the speed, for the big league game. But I had the stick for sure.
So growing up, who were your favorite players and who did you follow?
You know, I was kind of a crouch down sort of gap hitter in the beginning, and so I was studying guys that had a real understanding of the strike zone. Guys like Rod Carew and George Brett were people that I really studied from the very, very beginning, and probably was more suited towards kind of a George Brett kind of hitter. You know, guys willing to choke up when need be, good plate coverage, decent power. Just a really good overall hitter who understood what his job was at the plate, and that's kind of the kind of hitter that I was.
And now you also was a big fan of Charlie Lau, which I've read that you would read most of his books or all of his books that he had.
Yeah, and anything I could get my hands on, you know, that teaching those philosophies was great. And you know, at about 12 years old, I came across a guy. Tony Kubek, who was my coach out in my summer leagues out in Wisconsin, and he's the guy that taught me how to turn a double play, and you know, and how to work those positions pretty well, and taught me some of the expectations of what would be expected of me as far as what professional baseball would have to offer.
And so when did you become interested in becoming a chef? Where does all that come into play?
Right after my shoulder blew out.
Okay.
After you go through a certain amount of rehabs, I think that you start, you know, it's whether it's that willingness to go through it again. You take stock in your career every time, and you know, I just at some point I wasn't willing to rehab again. I wasn't willing to go through there go through those processes just to play a game that I enjoyed that I didn't really feel like I had a big future in. So, you know, I could see the end of the line kind of.
And so now here you are. Now you are world-renowned chef Ben Ford.
That's awesome.
And so, you know, it was funny because my wife and stepdaughter, we watch Bobby Flay and all those guys all the time, and it just cracks me up because Bobby Flay is actually a big New York Mets fan, by the way, and so he's a baseball honk as well. I don't know if he played, but I know that you're getting together. You're going to be a judge on one of his shows coming up, I believe.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's next week or two. You know, there's an amazing amount of washed-up athletes in my profession. You know, I think Gordon Ramsay was a soccer player.
Really?
Todd English was a ball player, at least in Division II. I think he played. And there's example of that all over the place. You know, because it's a great profession to gravitate into if you're, you know, especially if you put yourself into a career from 10 years old on, and you haven't built those foundations to do much of anything else. This can be a dream came true for some people. So I see a lot of athletes in this business.
Okay, that's kind of cool to know. I did not know about Gordon Ramsay being a soccer player. That's pretty cool. I could see it. I could see it though. I mean. Yeah,
it's supposed to be pretty good too.
And so now you have Ford's Filling Station in the LA area. And how's that going?
It's great. We've got one downtown. It's kind of near the USC campus down there, so I get to see all my old pals, and they pop in before games, and that's great. Our basketball team is on fire right now, which is great. Just wish the baseball program would find its groove again. Those were some incredible days back there in the 80s and 70s.
Oh yeah.
And I got to see just the tip part of it. But you know, Ford's Filling Station is doing great. We've got that location down in LA Live, and we've got another one in the Delta Terminal at LAX, and they both do wonderful. And we're definitely gonna do more of them down the stretch. And always looking for something that's going to, I don't know, we'll see what the world has to give us next year. It's actually a very exciting year for me.
So I know earlier, Tony, we were talking about a little bit about food. And so what we want to know is do you have a favorite dish that you cook? Is there something that, I mean, that, you know, you're better than anybody else at cooking at one dish?
Well, I'm exceptionally well known for my pigs. You know, I used to at the original Ford's filling stations. We raise all our own animals, pig, sheep, and goat for the restaurant. So we've got a lot of integrity as far as the whole animal is concerned. So I'm known to be really good with that stuff. But I'm mean on my barbecue, and just about anything done over a wood fire. I'm really strong. So paellas is something I've been doing a lot of lately. So sort of an all involved rice dish that I love, and just been looking for that next inspiration.
Brian, do you have any Brian's a barbecuer here. He's done a couple of contests.
Yeah, nothing like Ben though. I mean, Ben's his amazing stuff from the pictures I've seen.
I bet.
What's your probably best tip for barbecue, Ben?
You kind of prepare yourself to just take the time to do it right. You know, not to rush yourself through it. To create a timeline, work backwards from that. Give yourself plenty of time, because one of the best things about barbecue is enjoying that experience around the fire, around the smoker. Wood fire is it's a wonderful thing. You know, if you think about it, nobody ever goes crowding around a gas grill singing Kumbaya. Mm-hmm. But you sit on a wood fire, you do wood smoking, you do something authentic like that. People are drawn to it.
Sweet. Interesting. So you're coming up to Portland here in September, I believe. I was reading that there is like a sandwich, some sort of a sandwich event going on.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm going back up to Feast, which I love. I haven't spent too much time in Oregon, but I love that event. And
we're like 45 minutes away. Yeah, we're like 45 minutes away, so we're gonna have to make sure we catch up to you when you come in. That'd be kind of fun.
Oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. And so
absolutely.
So do you still follow baseball? Is there a team that you follow now, or any of the players, or are you just too busy now?
Not too much, you know. Truth be told, it was, there wasn't the best separation when I left the program, and now that there's a new sheriff in town and a new coaching staff and a new program, I found it felt a lot more sort of angst to go back and maybe join in some of those alumni games and get re-involved again, because it sure is a great program, and I've got a lot of friends over there I'd love to reunite myself with.
It is a great program. In fact, they dominated college baseball for 10 years? For longer than that. They won 10 national championships, I believe.
For the year I went there.
and so you talk about players who have came through there. Randy Johnson. I mean, there's many players. Jimmy Campanis. And I've had Jimmy on the show quite a few times, and he comes up with something new for me every time. We were talking about.
So
Yep.
Did Campy ever tell you a story about Randy? How Jimmy was a freshman with me, and so they was assigning one of us to sit next to him, because we had one of those stone and concrete dugouts, that he get very excited as a freshman, and he would jump up and give himself a couple concussions on the top of the dugout. So they had sat us one of us next to him to make sure that he didn't do that. That was our main job, that and heckling.
That's funny. No, he didn't tell us about that. We did talk.
Yeah, I'll ask him next time.
I will have to ask him that. We did talk about Kevin. Thinking about, gosh, dang it, name is Brian. Help me out here. Singer, his son.
Our left fielder,
yes.
Or right fielder, or
yes.
pitcher.
Yep.
Yeah.
Barry White's sons. Kevin White.
Yeah, Kevin Brown, good player. Never figured out what happened to that boy. I don't know. So there's so many mysteries of these guys that I would love to know what happened with them.
Huh. Interesting. So, preparing now, are you mainly a main course guy? Do you also do desserts and stuff?
You know, I try to keep myself kind of up on all the segments, because I definitely have to do the menus for all the restaurants, and it's important that I understand how all those flavors gel. But I'm not really a sweet guy. I definitely dwell more on the savory side, and I'm what you know. I come into an era in restaurants where the chefs, where you can still be pastry chef dependent, so to speak, and so. You know, I have those. I still depend on someone to do the sweet part of the stuff for my restaurants.
So, what piece of advice would you give a young person aspiring to be a chef? What would be the best piece of advice you would give them?
I think to find just the right place, you know, for you, to find somebody that you would enjoy learning under and spending that time, and to give it that time. You know, I think just like every industry in the world right now, it's being challenged with a new mindset, and it's harder for folks to really commit themselves and commit to something, but this profession really it's necessary for that, and if you want to get involved in it, you know, it's really just about putting your nose down and working with the right chef for a while, and that would be my best advice. You
know, and I'm sure if you ask all of, you know, Robert Irvine, you know, Gordon Ramsay, the Bobby Flays of the world, you know, they didn't get to where they were they busted their butts. They have definitely worked their tails off to get to where they are.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, I'm sure it doesn't come easy.
No, it's very true. You know, and that I got to tell you, I mean, that work ethic was something for me that was established on the field and has paid dividends for me down in later in life. So, you know, I'm very grateful to my sports beginnings for that.
So one final question before we let you go. We definitely have to catch up. We'll hopefully catch up with you when you come up to Portland in September. But do you have a favorite movie of your dad?
You know, the new one's pretty good, by the way. I mean, I can't deny that. But you know, I'm going to be 50 years old this year. I've got some movies that are nostalgic for me as well. I was 12 when the first Star Wars came out, and I was 14 when the first Raiders came out. And I still love the first Raiders. The first Raiders to me is amazing. Witness also is a movie which probably is a little less seen, but you know, he was nominated for and is exceptional. And The Fugitive. The Fugitive is
my favorite.
You know, I mean,
I love that movie.
That's a movie they show in film classes, you know.
Right.
And I think there was some great work done there.
You know, it's funny because, you know, when Tony and I were first chatting about it, you know, I was like, oh, you know, Han Solo and Indiana Jones. First words out of Tony's mouth was The Fugitive.
Oh, Dr. Richard Kimball.
Yep.
That's my favorite.
Yeah, that is a pretty good one. And so once again,
you know, the most powerful scene is the one with no dialogue, which is just amazing to me.
Yeah, and once again,
the one where just before he drives off, you know.
Yeah, there you go, Tony.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to go back and watch that now. Yeah. So once again, Chef Ben Ford, do you have a website to go to if people wanted
Chef Ben Ford, chefbenford.com.
There it is.
That leads to everything, so check it out.
If you're in the LA area, where are your restaurants again?
We have one in LA Live across the Staples Center, so you can grab a game, go check us out first.
Nice.
And we have one in the Delta Terminal in LAX, so if you're passing through, come check us out.
Definitely. I know Brian and I were talking about doing a road trip for Clubhouse Chatter this summer, so we might be down in your area. We're gonna have to find your place and get some good food.
Oh yeah.
Please do. I'll be there.
All right. So once again, Mr. Chef Ben Ford. Hey, Ben, thank you very much for coming on Clubhouse Chatter, and let's do this again.
Yeah.
All right, Ben. Thank you.
Thanks, Ben.
So once again, Chef Ben Ford. And,
that's pretty awesome.
That
that makes me hungry now.
So this is what Clubhouse Chatter is about.
It is.
You know, it's not necessarily about finding the old ball players like you. Not that you're old now, but you know, it's about finding
life.
Yeah, finding people who have played the game. You know, Chef Morimoto, the original Iron Chef. So the Japanese dude, he was a catcher. growing up in Japan. And so I've reached out to him a couple of different times to try to get him on. And I think he's
Remember
a
we
little
were
bit big
talking
for me.
earlier, though, the skill of baseball, right?
Absolutely.
And it pisses me off. I was telling you that when coaches and players say it's 90% mental and 10% skill. Baseball is the most skilled sport in the world. 10%? If that's the case, I'm still playing.
Right. No, it's
That's
true.
the biggest lie I've ever heard in my life.
It's true.
10% skill. Get out of here.
I mean, I'm not going to step up. I'm not going to step up and hit a 95 mile an hour fastball.
No,
I got to work on that.
skill.
You know?
Yes, it is mental. You're a great hitter. You fail 7 out of 10 times, right? But 10% skill, I mean, that's the biggest lie I've ever heard in my life. It really is. I hate when they say that.
What else bugs you? I know we got on that article, and
yeah, I mean,
there's a lot of hard work. Baseball is a grind.
It's a grind. You know what? The coaches, though, I got a lot of respect for the coaches because they put in more hours than the player does.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they're there at noon. They leave at like midnight.
Yep.
So they're
sometimes
out.
later than that.
Yeah, I got a lot of respect for a coach. They put in more hours than the player, and they're trying to make it too. They're trying to advance to the next level.
Yep.
And make the big leagues also.
I remember my season in Lancaster, California. In Lancaster, California, sorry, Lancaster peeps, but Lancaster is a hole.
Lancaster?
It's a hole.
Oh, yeah. Lancaster.
Don't get me wrong. I enjoyed my time there.
Lancaster, California, you're talking about, right?
Yes.
Well, I like the stadium.
I love the people. The stadium was a AA stadium.
Yeah, I mean, the
people were great, but Lancaster as a city, it sucked.
Oh, it's a lot of like crime there and stuff too.
And I remember Brett Butler was our manager. And I remember Brett, man, he was a hard worker. He was one of those guys who would come in at 11, 12 o'clock in the morning, and he'd be there until midnight, 1 o'clock, and I remember I'd be doing my clubhouse duties, and players, 11:30, players are usually gone. Most of the coaches are they're getting ready to leave, and I remember, Bugsy would look at me and he'd be, hey, you hungry? Mm-hmm. And we'd always find a restaurant open. Yeah. And so we'd go and we'd eat, we'd grab a piece of pie or whatever, a burger, and then we'd come back to the stadium, and then he would finish off his reports that he's got to call in. And
they got to send him off to the big club.
They do.
Minor league managers do.
Each one of them,
they got to report on every player,
your pitching coach,
player.
Your pitching coach has to make a call into the pitching coordinator. The hitting coach has to call into the hitting coordinator. The trainer has to call into the head trainer. The strength and conditioning coach. I mean, it's all there. They all have to report.
Yeah, it's a lot of paperwork and stuff like that. Yeah,
and I remember toward the end of the season, Brett Butler, Damon Mayshore, whose father Clyde passed away the other day, by the way, and so and which is kind of sad. And Jeff Pico, who was our pitching coach, they for like 2 or 3 days, they sat in the office and they had to go through the rosters of all the California League teams and write on who this player reminded them of. And I remember sitting in. I could actually sit in on the conversations as long as I didn't say anything. Butler was like, once you open your mouth, you're gone. Yeah. And so I was like the fly on the wall. And so I sat there, and remember them. Well, this player kind of reminds me of Dustin Hermanson or, somebody, and
like
so,
Herm.
and they would go down and, a lot of those guys never made it. A lot of those guys didn't make it, but there was a handful that did. And
it's hard to make
it is hard to make it.
It's hard to make the major leagues.
It is.
It's hard to even put on a professional baseball uniform. It's hard to even get drafted at a high school or college. It's that hard.
Well, to even play college ball, I mean,
it's super hard to get drafted. It is, man. Yeah. You gotta have
talent
and timing. Just like life. Yeah, timing is everything. Timing, and skill, man. Yeah, and you gotta be able to handle the failure. Well, if you can be able to handle getting out 7 out of 10 times, you're great.
You gotta stay healthy. Number one.
Stay healthy. Number one. I had a lot of injuries. Numerous surgeries. Let alone imagine having a major surgery in the off season, right? Trying to rehab that shoulder and get ready baseball wise, seems like I was behind, but yet I always still find that stroke at the plate though. Right. Even in spring training and stuff, big league camp.
I always think of all the minor all the people who played minor league baseball. Mm-hmm. I have seen a lot of great players come through this league, Northwest League, California League, and for whatever reason, they didn't make it. You know, like yourself, like yourself. Mm-hmm. You know, okay, you know, you don't get drafted number 1 as a bum.
No.
You know, they're not going to sign you to $1 million signing, give you a signing bonus of $1 million and tell you, you know, you suck. You don't suck and be drafted at number 1.
Right. It's just people that write those articles are the guys that never made it, and they're basically they never amount to anything, so they gotta write articles about guys to make themselves. You know, that's all.
And here's you know, somebody asked, you know, our stance on PEDs. Mm-hmm. And
I should have took them.
PEDs, you know, PEDs are a touchy subject.
I was a skinny kid playing up there hitting.
And so, you know, there's always somebody in the game trying to get ahead of everybody else.
You know, you can't blame them.
You know, it's cheating has gone on as long as baseball has been around.
It does, and
you know, and I can't, you know, not that I condone it.
I don't condone it, but
I understand it.
Understand that
you know, I understand.
Be the best you can be.
Yeah, I understand.
Although Roger Maris, Mickey Mantle never took that stuff, and look how good Willie Mays.
But we don't know. But we don't know what what they were taking in. You know, chances are probably not. You know, they didn't have
Hank
the
Aaron,
PEDs.
I don't think he did.
But you know, I mean, there had to have been something that kind of gave him an upper edge
back in those days.
You know, I don't know.
Yeah, who knows?
You know. But I think of all...
Deer Antler, maybe.
Deer Antler? I think of all the Dominican kids coming over.
Greenies.
And Greenies. Greenies are huge. Greenies are huge. Dump them in chew.
Dump them in coffee.
Coffee.
Oh, you get wild.
Man, you would see
I'm not gonna lie, I used to take those
you would
things.
see some funky stuff.
Oh, I took those things. Yeah.
You know, I remember players coming in with bags of chews, chew, and then they would have, you know, the little airline bottles, and then they would mix the airline bottle of alcohol in with the chew, and then you dump your greenies in there and you let it soak for a while, and then you wrap your gum or do whatever. But yeah, coffee is coffee is everywhere in the minor leagues.
Flying off that stuff.
We had a coffee pot
this big though when you're hitting.
We had a coffee pot in the dugout. We had a coffee pot plugged out into the dugout. I mean, it's 115 degrees in Lancaster, California, and you still got a pot of hot coffee going.
Yeah, I lost about 10 pounds a game.
Oh yeah, everybody did it. Everybody did coffee. No, everybody. Everybody.
Gosh,
coffee is the drug of choice. I mean, it really is.
Oh yeah, I drink like 5 cups when I wake up in the morning.
Yeah, I mean, I do too. You know, I mean, but
I love coffee.
Coffee was like
milk and sugar and all that stuff.
Coffee was the biggest thing that we had. I mean, we had a bunch of Red Bull and
I
then
don't
of course
Red Bull that much.
Then of course, you know, you would see the canisters, unmarked canisters sitting on top of the lockers in the clubhouse.
Oh yeah.
And so some sort of supplement, you never knew.
Everybody takes something.
And then, you know, there was a handful of players who had their little black bags, and you always wondered what was in the black bag. And, you know, I had a chance to look one time, but, you know, bus driver and I, we looked at each other and were like, yeah, forget it.
Yeah, if they're telling you they're not taking anything, they're lying.
Yeah, and so, but...
Come on. I played 9 years professional. I know what's up.
Yeah. So... Once again, Mr. Tony Torquato, we've got the, Volcanoes Banquet coming up, volcanosbaseball.com.
It'd be a good time.
He's going to be answering. Brian, you got something?
Anything, Brian?
Brian looks like he had something.
No,
Brian?
I just, I could sit here and listen to you guys talk all day long.
I could go all night.
I know you could.
Yeah, that's because of that coffee, you know.
Yeah.
Now, you've heard the stories of them packing chew under their toes? A lot of that going on?
I never saw that.
Yeah?
I never saw that.
Because it come, get between your toes and get the bloodstream quicker.
I never saw that.
I was just curious.
Just put a whole big old dip in and run out to left field.
You don't see that anymore. I mean, that was, that wintergreen smell is not not there anymore.
Skull mint.
Yeah, I did learn how to use super glue properly though.
No, yeah.
Which is hilarious because all of us normal people, super glue is a glue that you fix stuff with, but it's a staple in trainers' bag because of blisters and stuff like that, you know. And
nowadays, he's probably even better stuff than when I
probably.
played. You know, we got better stuff.
Probably. So do you have like, was there a place that you played at that you absolutely despised going to? Somewhere like Bakersfield. Like Sam Lynn.
You said that actually.
Sam Lynn is a freaking hole.
The armpit.
It is. I would say it's the butthole.
It's the butthole. Woo!
I mean, I hate
it is though. Bakersfield.
People in Bakersfield. I've got a cousin that lives there, but Sam, whoever built Sam Lynn Ballpark,
what are they thinking?
They built the ballpark backwards, so the sun sets over the batter's eye, and
terrible
so
atmosphere.
Bakersfield.
For a Cal League team,
it's hot. It's miserable. It's in a crappy part of town. You're almost in Oildale. And then backwards ballpark. So game times, they didn't have a set game time because they had to wait for the sun to go down. So sometimes you were getting on the field 7:45, 8 o'clock. You know, and being in Lancaster, I know, you know, so you played in Bakersfield.
Did you? 1999.
And so, but from coming up from Lancaster, that was a drive.
Oh, yeah.
And so we didn't stay the night. And so we drove, because it was under the mileage limit, but yet it was like a longer drive than going to Lake Elsinore for us.
Yeah.
And so it took us 2.5 hours to get to Bakersfield. And so we'd get off the field at 11:45, and then we'd bus home.
Do they still have? No, I honestly don't know. Do they still have Bakersfield as a team?
Yes.
They do. That same field?
Yep. Same Sam Lynn, yes.
No way.
Yep.
Get rid of that.
And so there are little games that you learn how to play at each of the stadiums. And in Bakersfield, it was count the fans. And so you seriously could sit in a dugout, and within 15 minutes you could count all the fans.
Oh yeah,
you know, because
26 people. You're like
exactly.
You know, professional baseball.
Very seldom did you have to count, you know, above 100.
Man,
you know.
You know, that's the affiliated ball. See, I played last year. Well, only a couple games last year, but the year before in the Pacific Association.
Mm-hmm.
You go to Vallejo, man. I'm sorry to say this, but I look forward to going there.
Was it like an American Legion field? Or something?
It was like a Babe Ruth field. I mean, man, you know, San Rafael had the best atmosphere in that league.
Well, the Pelicans used to play there.
Pittsburgh Metal, I played for.
Yeah.
You know, it's pro ball. You know, you're trying to make it out of there. All the players trying to make it out of that league. You know, do what you got to do.
What do you miss most about playing?
The competition. I just like hitting off those guys. Yeah. You know, the bus rides, hanging out with the teammates, and going to all the hotels and going out, hanging out, talking baseball all night.
It's a different life.
It's different.
It's a different life. And
it's fun though. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity, and I'm grateful I played. I'm glad I played.
It really is.
I wouldn't take it back for anything.
You know, if you're a college student and you're single and you're looking for something to do in the summertime, you know, start applying for a clubhouse manager position. And I mean, you're going to work your butt off. You're going to put in 16 to 18-hour days, but it was special. Because of the people that you become, you know, one with, you become a team, and you're part of the team.
I made a lot of friends. I met a lot of people. Baseball took me all over the world.
Oh man, you know,
Venezuela, Italy, Canada, Mexico, all over the U.S.
And the bus rides and you know, the hotel hijinks. Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
The hotel hijinks. There's always
the people
stuff
are
going
asking me like, "Hey, do you miss it, man? Why don't you coach? Why don't you go coach in the minor leagues and stuff?" And I'm like, you know, I don't know. And to be quite honest, I haven't put out one resume or one email to any team inquiring about any coaching job yet.
Right.
I haven't yet. I don't know if I want to, or if I even get the opportunity. I don't know if anybody would want to hire me, but you know, I don't know if I want to do it because all those bus rides and it's fun, but also
it's a hard life.
A lot of you know, you don't realize how many hours a coach put in. Like I said. So it's a tough life. You know, minor leagues is not glamorous like people think it is. Oh, you're playing pro ball. No. You get to AAA, it's pretty good.
More.
It's pretty good. You fly, and the stadiums are nice.
The food's better.
Yeah. But, you know, single A, double A and stuff, it's a grind.
Minor league baseball, they get paid crap. You know,
unless you get put on the 40 man, and you get called up, but you get sent back down. Then you're making
Salem Kaiser. You know, I'll use them as an example because they're in our backyard. But an average player there, he takes home $800 usually.
I think I made $800 a month when I started off.
Yeah, because they take out your insurance, and did they take out your clubhouse dues out of that, or did you pay that?
I think I usually paid those.
Yeah, so I know I got paid that, so that didn't come out of the checks.
You know, and I think they don't come out. I'm not sure now.
Some places they do. Some places
maybe now they do. Yeah. But yeah, you got to pay clubhouse dues, and then you got, you know, if you get an apartment, you got rent.
Yep.
All that stuff, just like regular people.
It's not glamorous, and like you said, you know, usually it's kind of funny because usually, I mean, like you, for coming to Salem Kaiser, you would be the guy because you got to sign it. You would got but a lot of times now, because the signing bonuses are so big,
they're big,
that you're the guy that's renting the apartment, and then you got like 4 or 5 other teammates staying with you. It was funny,
yeah. When I was 18, you know, I didn't know first time going to pro. And you know, their guys, you're the bonus baby. Huh?
Yep.
You're the bonus baby. I'm like, what's that mean? Oh, well, you're the guy that signed for all that money. I'm, no, I didn't. Why don't you buy us pizza, man?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, no.
Yeah, it's different now. You know, now we're talking signing bonuses are up, you know, up around $7.5. I don't know, the 19th
overall pick. The Giants have that this year, the 19th overall. But I think that pick now is what, $2 million?
At least.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't keep up on
it. It's quite a bit, you know.
Over that, yeah, that's a lot of money.
So it is a lot of money to hand somebody. And you know. It is. So once again, Mr. Tony Torcato.
Hey, and let's keep going, buddy.
Dude, we love having you on. We gotta have you on.
Brian's
again.
like, man, you guys get out of here.
So I wanna wish a good buddy of mine, a couple of people actually. So today is my buddy Walt's birthday. And you're going to get to know Walt because he won the package and gets to hang out with you at a game.
Volcano game?
Yes. So he gets to hang out. So he's really excited. And
that's going to be fun.
Walt actually he's sang national anthem a couple times. Well, quite a few more. He's part of that Jabberwocky group. And so if you're ever Volcano Stadium, then
when is that? That's obviously in June.
Yeah, it'll be in June or July. We'll set up a date, but Walt won that, and so that was pretty exciting.
Yeah, I seen that on I think it was on Facebook or something. Yeah, but that's cool. I look forward to hanging out with Walt.
Yeah, Walt.
And you are not attending the banquet, right?
No, I'm not going to the banquet.
You're not going?
No, probably not. I got to work, I'm sure.
Yeah, you probably have another cool cat on here.
You know, I've only had.
When's your next episode, by the way?
Next Tuesday.
Every Tuesday,
hopefully.
Then.
Yeah.
We should up it to every Tuesday.
So I've only had 2. Well, besides Josh and Kelly. Besides Josh and Kelly, they don't count. I've had you and Judah Newby of what station is Judah from? 750.
The Game.
The Game. Yeah.
And
so Judah's a local boy who I grew up watching and umpiring his baseball games, and so you two are the only guys that have been in studio with us.
Oh yeah, that's my second time.
It's fun.
It's not going to be my last, pal.
No, it's not going to be your last. You know, and the hope is to actually do a show from Volcano Stadium.
Well, that'd be cool.
You know, do a couple of them, and so we are talking about taking Clubhouse Chatter on the road.
Yeah, you should. I bet you a lot of guys would love to do that.
Well, we hope. You
guys are. I'm glad you guys started this thing.
Yep, it has been
great
fun.
Time. Thanks for having me again, man.
Hey, not a problem. So once again, we are sponsored by baseballisms.com. If you like my hat, baseballisms.com. Check out the guys. Baseball Dudes. Chris Gazelle up there in Vancouver, Washington. To be the best, you must train like the best. Chris Gazelle up there in Vancouver. Mitch Canham, Oregon State Products, won a couple of national championships, is the manager of the Clinton Lumber Kings. Based by pros out of Washington as well. And Mark Canham, his dad, does our shirts for us. And check them out. If you want to buy a shirt, buy a hoodie, let me know. Stream live, yamhilltoday.com. Brian, what do we got going on for YST?
YST, all the good stuff like we always do. Just same old great stuff. Make sure you tune in.
Thanks for having me, guys. And I will be leaving the mean streets of Amity, Oregon.
Amity, folks. That's right.
Amity, Oregon. Now, we are in the boondocks, though, and I like it.
Great. We're up here in wine country.
Nobody would find this place. Even my GPS got lost.
I've been watching. Have you been watching the new X-Files? Oh, man. they would find us.
Oh, yeah.
They would find us.
See, the good thing about Clubhouse Chatter is nobody can be like, hey, man, let's go jump in the car and go check out the Clubhouse Chatter studio.
That's right.
I'm sorry, guys. You will not find it.
That's right. You will not find it. You will not find it. So once again, Norm, that's Tony, producer Brian. We'll be back next week.
That's right.
We got some good stuff next week coming up as well. And we'll catch you guys later.
See you guys. Thanks for tuning in.